Do you want to play a game? Tell me this didn't give you Jigsaw freaking vibes right here with this little guy. Holy shiza.
Oh, yeah.
He's
That
creepy. He's
it's
creepy.
creepy. Very
It's
creepy.
very,
Very
very,
creepy.
very creepy. What's happening, guys? Welcome to DC Fan-imated Stream. I am Dave the Film Junkie. With me, as always, Mr. Scott McClellan. How's it going, sir?
Oh, well, you took all my fun. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god. I was like, where does he get all this wonderful toys?
That's a good one, too. Yes, guys. We're talking about the Toyman, and I forgot how creepy this freaking character is. Holy.
Oh, I've never forgotten how creepy this guy is. Oh no.
Oh, yes, we are talking fun and games when it comes to Superman animated series, and yeah, I mean, well, we'll get right into it. But my God, I mean, yeah, this, I mean, obviously, this is a character that's been around. I mean, I'm sure you have some kind of backstory. Do you have some kind of backstory when it comes to this
Action
character?
Comics number 64, I
Yeah.
think. It's funny though because this is one of the many Superman villains that the creators of the show talked about how, if you look back at a lot of Superman's rogue gallery, especially at the beginning, they were all like guys in suits. Like,
Yeah.
he did, so I mean, even Toyman was just a guy in a really outlandishly plaid jacket, basically. And they did what they love to do, which is they wanted to give these villains these psychologically deep backstories, just like they've been doing the entire time with Batman the Animated Series. So, I mean, we'll get to it when we talk about the episode, but just look at how much time is spent in the middle of the episode giving us Toyman's backstory.
Oh, and it's in a very creative way too.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's sympathetic in a way because you get this psychological underpinning. I mean, he's not just a villain with a gag. They make him psychologically damaged
Mhm.
with a semi-sympathetic backstory, except for the fact that now he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then the inspiration for the design of Toyman did come from a marionette puppet.
Oh, nice. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense once you like see it. I just remember this guy just like, oh, this guy is just creepy as
Yeah. Just
crap.
I know it was funny too because when I was making the thumbnail, I was like, well, the title, when you see the title, you don't really see much when you see the title. And then when I was looking at Google, I was like, I'm gonna choose this one, which you see behind us, where he's holding up his dopey dough or whatever the heck. So I was like, yeah, we'll use that one instead because it just looks, I mean, it reminds me of Night of the Living Dummy from Goosebumps. You
Oh
know,
yes,
Slappy, good old
Slappy.
Slappy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That guy's creepy. But you're pixelating, so you're gonna have to jump back in.
gotcha.
Been a bit. He's got new lighting though. Yeah. But that I don't know. But all of a sudden, yeah, we were just talking about how like he's got some fresh new lighting when it comes to it. But then of course, what happens? This StreamYard is like, nope. Just because you got new lighting, I'm wondering if I'm a little too dark. Am I too dark? I'm gonna change this up one. I think I'm a little too dark. There we go. We'll brighten up the ISO right there. Anyways, welcome back. All right, you're good. I was just talking about your lighting. And,
Well, yeah, you were dark and gritty.
yeah, I upped the ISO on my thing right here because I always just use the screens, but it seemed like it was darker than usual. I don't know. But yeah, it was giving me kind of like Nightmare of the Living Dummy vibes right there. If you're a Goosebumps fan, you know exactly what you're talking about. But yes, we are talking fun and games. We are now getting into it where now we just have adventures with Superman. We've established the origin story with the last son of Krypton, which was fun to talk about and fun to go over. And now we're diving into the thick of it. And here we go, right here when it comes to the Toyman. And what's his name? Winslow Scott, right? That's what his name is?
Shot.
Shot. There you go. That's right.
Winslow, and technically, as we go into his backstory, it's Winslow Shot Jr.
Yes, because we do talk about his dad. I know. I looked it up in the DC like fan base thing that they have, and I was seeing some of the iterations on it, and I'm like, wow, this guy has been like all over, even like live action and all kinds of.
Oh yeah, it's because Supergirl. He was a major supporting character on the Supergirl TV show,
Yeah.
and then different iterations of Toyman. Like the fourth iteration of Toyman was actually a hero,
Mm,
and I got introduced to him because of Superman, Batman, Public Enemies.
mm. Yeah, and then there's been different names like Toy Maker. That's been like a name that's been there too. I was reading about and stuff, but yeah, I mean it's yeah, he's when he first shows up. I mean, obviously when the episode starts, we get a cool little chase sequence. You know, armored truck. You gotta love that. You know, machine guns, cops chasing them. We got all that, and then of course, that the chase sequence all happens, and then there's like a smoke bomb, there's a crash, there's all kinds of stuff, and then of course here comes Superman. We hear that lovely theme music, and then, of course, he gets there a little late. He's not there like just to take on these guys right in the streets or whatever.
Did you
But
notice that he lands on the landing and kind of
okay,
like I got Batman vibes from that. I got
okay. That again, this is what I wrote the same thing. The fact that he doesn't like come down and just like, or he's not floating around. Yeah, he lands on a ledge high up, and he's just kind of standing there, kind of perched, not like Batman like perched down, but he's kind of in a Batman-esque style. And I thought the exact same thing.
But I did love it because you hear the cops say, "We lost them at 3rd and Schuster," and I'm like,
yeah, yeah. I caught that too.
Oh.
Caught that nice little Easter egg right there.
You know, I'm not sure how much Marvel does it, but DC really does have a great tradition of streets and locations. They always name them. You know, we talked about, in Batman the Animated, there was always like the corner of Adams and O'Neill, and there's always stuff like that. So I don't know how other people feel about that, but I love the fact that, you've got like Robinson Park, and you've got all these Kane County, and they always name them after different creators in the DC universe. I always appreciate that.
Yeah, I always appreciate it too. It warms the nerd heart, especially like, I mean, yeah, like you said, if you hear any kind of name, there's odds are that has somebody within.
It's a writer, it's an artist,
yeah, it's someone.
It's somebody.
It's great. But then, yeah, so then Superman, yeah, he flies in, and then, yeah, like I said, when he hears where they were going, so then, of course, they're in a warehouse, and then this is where we get our little introduction to the Toyman, and it is quite.
It's creepy. I mean, his introduction is creepy. I mean, he walks out of the shadows, and you just. I mean, just seriously, and he's just holding the ball.
Yeah, he's just kind of, and then he just. Oh, do we know who the voice is?
The voice is name of Bud Cort. Now he is a well-established actor. He's in his 70s, but here are some of the films he's appeared in. He's been in Robert Altman's Brewster McCloud. He was in the original MASH movie, which is also a Robert Altman picture. He was in Heat. He was in Dogma, Coyote Ugly, and
Dogma.
He was. Oh wait, who was he in Dogma? And he was in The Life Aquatic.
Life Aquatic. That's
okay. So Dogma, he was God.
He was God.
Well, no, okay. No. There's God because there's what Alanis Morissette.
Yeah,
but there's John Doe Jersey.
Oh, yes. He's at the very beginning when he's walking around and at the the beach and want to play skee ball and shit like that.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Okay. Well, no matter who he is, he's got a definite creepy voice that adds to the creepy aesthetic of this character. But yeah, and then he just like going, all right, what is this ball gonna do? And of course, and I love the fact that when he like just bounces the ball and it just keeps on bouncing
by itself and gets higher, so you're like, higher.
Oh my God. And then of course he gets out of there, locks all the guys in there, and then the ball just starts going crazy. And this ball ain't fucking around, man.
No, I called it dodgeball of death.
Pretty much, because I mean, and I'll give it to these goons right here. They were like, let's get back into the armored truck. We can't get out. It's the walls are made of pure steel, but even the ball was fucking up this truck.
Jeez, and it's intense. Like it's an intense moment there. And and Superman, once again, when we talk about how they depowered Superman, for this series, I mean, that ball like smacks him around.
He gets smacked around. And then, but first off, he did another Batman thing. He kind of came crashing through that skylight and just kind of like gave a little, I put that as well. I was like, Batman entrance, because he does come crashing through kind of like that, even though he's, he doesn't need anything to do that, or the cape or anything like that. But there's just some Batman vibes when it comes to
Oh,
this
there's
episode.
one more later on in the episode.
Is there? I don't know if I caught that one.
Oh, I caught one. I didn't, like this one didn't do it for me, but there's one at the end that like it grabbed me.
Nice.
So,
but yeah, the ball just starts smacking him in the face. Like it's just like, and it's just like, like whoa, like this thing's got some like weight to it for sure. But then I love how he just goes.
Because I love it because you can see that it's kind of like that scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League where Superman can see something moving fast, so he's just watching it, and then he just pops it.
Yeah, just. But yeah, pretty intense. But again, it's not like Superman was just walking in. Yeah, of course he thinks that, I could take all this, but that's just the way that. But then I love the fact that it's like, well, now that that's done, all the guys are in here. Let's just take the truck to the police station and just.
He even like struggles a little bit to like pick the truck up. I liked that.
It's good. So then we get to the police station. We got Lois and Jimmy. Of course, they're already at the scene reporting it, and then Jimmy's talking. Jimmy's taking his pictures, and then of course there's someone that mentions the Toyman. Who was it that mentioned the Toyman? I don't think I wrote that.
Oh, it was one of the babbling goons.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Because he got on like the gurney or something like that.
Yeah,
exactly. He was just like that whole thing where he's just like, oh, the Toyman, and then you got this other dude who's more contained, and he's just
Spider.
That's who
Spider was the one. And because he's the one, because Lois tries to connect them with Bruno Manheim, and he's like, "Who? No, I'm my own boss."
You're crazy. You're crazy. And then of course, when it comes to Bruno Manheim, we go to Manheim Park, and that's where Bruno is, and Clark's already there. And then Jimmy and Lois show up to the park, and it's kind of funny because. We get that competitiveness again when it comes to Lois, because she mentions like, trying to put all this together, and how like what she heard at the scene, she doesn't share it with Clark. She's like, nope, not going to tell you. Sorry, Smallville kind of thing, where it's like, now.
I love the fact that now I love it now. Like now we get to the whole Smallville. Like this is when she, in this iteration, starts calling him Smallville. Yeah. By the way, cool thing to know about Bruno Manheim.
Okay.
Created by Jack Kirby.
Nice. So he's been around.
Oh, he's been around. His first appearance was in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, and this will tie in later. Okay. But Bruno Manheim being the leader, which they don't mention it here in this episode, but being the leader of Inner Gang, was how the Fourth World and Apocalypse was introduced into the comics. So these characters have always been like intertwined from literally their inception. Nice. So so it was just kind of cool to know that Bruno Manheim is a Jack Kirby creation. He's currently the big bad of season 3 of Superman and Lois.
Is he? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think I've seen people talk about that too. So yeah, because I'm like, when the name came about, I'm like, I've heard the name recently, and I think it's probably because of that. So there you go.
Yeah. And voiced by Bruce Weiss, who I'm not that familiar with, but he's made appearances in NYPD Blue, Jag, The X-Files. He did a long stint on General Hospital. So he's kind of one of those, like his big thing was, we've already established this is a show that you didn't watch. I didn't watch it either, but he was he was an Emmy Award winning actor on Hill Street Blues.
Hill Street Blues. Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch it either.
What did he? It was just one episode of X-Files.
Let me double check on that.
Yeah, double check that, because now I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes, one episode.
One episode. Okay. I was thinking maybe he was somebody else, but I was like, nah, I don't think it's what's his name. But
we've talked about. Oh my God, we've talked about him before.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, he was the voice of Lockup.
Oh shit! There you go. Okay, because I was like wondering, because
I was like, why have we talked about Hill Street Blues before? Well, because we talked about this actor before.
Lockup episode of Batman. There it is. Okay, well that makes sense, because the voice did sound somewhat familiar.
It sounded familiar.
Yes,
so you're going, why do I know this voice? And I see the name going, I don't know that name. Why do I not know the name? And then I'm just like, oh wait a minute, he was Lockup. Okay.
I like it. So yeah, we're there, and of course he's going to be doing something at this park. Yeah, Clark's already there, and then of course we get these toy planes that start.
Man, did you get Mask of the Phantasm vibes from those
Oh,
things?
of course, yes, got that. Going in, and of course shooting at everybody, and of course everybody gets out of the way. Clark saves Bruno's ass by jumping on him, and getting him behind, and not make sure he's not getting shot. But then it's like, hey, Clark, easy, don't expose
Well,
that
it's
you're.
kind of cool there because he tries to even chase after Bruno even more, and Lois stops him and,
Yeah.
quote, saves him because
Yes.
she's the one. Not only does she pull him down behind the bench, she actually, if you watch it, she actually jumps on top of him.
Yeah, she does. She does, and like, what do you want to get shot too? What are you, crazy? And it's like, it's a cool little moment of Clark going, wait a minute, I got to play the part of human. And yeah, so I did appreciate that whole thing, because obviously his first instinct is to just, all right, let me save this guy, let me run out there and save this guy, it'll be okay. But then of course he just uses some good old laser vision, tilt the sunglasses.
Which is interesting because this is the first time his heat vision is depicted as lasers.
Okay.
Because if you go
Yeah.
back and you look at both Last Son of Krypton Part 2 and Part 3, it was just his eyes would glow, and then the thing he was looking at would melt.
Yeah.
And this is the first time, because even Jimmy says they just exploded. So it's like no one even saw the lasers.
Do you think they just do that for just to help the audience out, like look at that, as opposed to, because like obviously when he was with Jonathan and he bent the pipe or whatever, or like broke it, that you could just get the sense of what was happening right there. But the sense this is something in the distance and flying around, do you think they just were like, yeah, we got to make it shoot out because that's just gonna look better?
Yeah, I that's the feeling I
Yeah.
got from here. It almost reminds me, and this is one of the cool things I enjoy. Superman Returns is a hot mess, but let's talk about something that I thought was cool though. Is that
Yeah.
the way heat vision was done in that movie? If you remember, it just looked like heat was radiating from his eyes. It wasn't lasers. Like
Yeah.
it was more heat vision.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about that too. If are we supposed to see lasers, or the lasers just there as like a visual cue to let us know, oh, heat vision?
Yeah, because I mean, I would imagine so. Because yeah, like you said, Jimmy just kind of goes there. They just kind of exploded out of nowhere. You would have thought that somebody would have saw like two beams shooting at it, and I mean, I think it's just there for the audience to be like, all right, yeah, he's shooting at it, so then you know exactly what he's doing. I mean, there's the different interpretations. I mean, look what Zach did with Man of Steel. That's one of my favorite shots, is when they're holding him down. He just like that. I just love that so much.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just so much raw. It's just raw and just and he's angry and stuff like that. I mean, it like it hurts, kind of thing, which it essentially kind of does, I guess you could say. But anyways, yeah. So we got that toy planes and everything, and then of course that stupid Bruno Manheim. He tries to hide in one of those tubes in the like slides or whatever, and
Slides in the playground.
yeah, which those are fun. And then of course we get like kind of like we started getting like the backstory from Lois here when it comes to, and they kind of be like basically make him like they label him as emotionally stunted narcissist with paranoid delusions. I mean, it's just like there's a laundry list of it, and I love how it cuts to Toyman reading
the newspaper with that.
yeah, and then it just kind of goes down, and you see that creepy face. I was like, oh, chef's kiss on that one right there, because obviously it's Lois that wrote the article, so she's just talking, and then all of a sudden it gets translated right into the paper, and he's reading it, and that don't make him happy, even though he looks happy.
Oh my god. And I think that's one of the creepiest things about Toyman is the fact that that face never changes.
No.
Like it's that same creepy grin the entire time.
Yeah, even when he loses his shit. Ugh.
Oh jeez.
This is great. But then we get Manheim. We get Bruno on his yacht or whatever, a boat. And of course he's paranoid mess talking to his goons, saying that they need to find him and like track him down. And then all of a sudden it's a big rubber ducky just
God, what is it about this universe and rubber duckies? I mean, of course, I think of Batman Returns, and then I think of how they use the duck in for Penguin in the animated series, and it's just like I even love it when Manheim's like, shoot it, and the guy goes, but it's a ducky.
Yeah, I know. It's like it doesn't look threatening, but it's very threatening because it starts effing up this boat like crazy, just slamming right into it. Did you get some some of the score reminds you of the Batman Forever score a little bit?
I didn't hear that, but
okay.
but now I want to go back and watch it again just in case. But
I
no,
wrote that down, and it was during this scene right here. There was just like something about it that reminded me like of Batman Forever. I know we've been talking about the Schumacher cut as of late, so it's been on the brain, but I don't know. It's just like, what is familiar about that score right here? There's like a certain spot where it just gave me Batman Forever vibes.
which okay, I'm kind of curious. Like what
Like I trying to remember now what exactly it is. I see I can't even like my brain's not working right now. Dent, 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 dent. It's kind of I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Maybe we'll have to like go to it or after we play the clip, but there's just something that was giving me that. Anyways, but we got Superman that shows up. Of course, he grabs he gets to the duck before it takes out Bruno, who's in the water at this point. Because obviously everything's like going crazy. And then we get the Toyman. Well, obviously when Bruno is on the surface, we got another creepy. I mean, this is what I like about when it comes to villains like this that use toys for deadly weapons, and he's just got
a bubble wand.
Bobble wand. That's what I was looking for right there. And just
I saw you struggling.
You got you knew what I was getting at right there. But and then it's just bubbles of pure knockout gas or whatever, and it's just you know it's just but it's such a creepy thing where he's just got this little guy with a big smile on his face, and he's just doing that as he's talking, of course, in that voice of his. But yeah, of course, it's full of gas that knocks him out. And then Superman doesn't get there in time because obviously he was taking out the big rubber ducky and then finds like Manheim's gun and then of course the bubble wand just sitting there. But it's just I don't know. I like that the gimmicky stuff when it comes to that.
Well, it's like if you've got a villain whose deal is toys, like be creative with it. And I love the fact that he because the ball was cool. Yeah. And then the rubber ducky, okay, we've kind of seen before, but then a giant bubble wand with a bucket of his toxic bubble solution.
Exactly. And then we got Lois back at her apartment, and I'm just going, Lois, you're alone in your apartment. You just got out of the shower. You get a knock on the door, and then there's just a gift waiting for you. Why are you allowing that to come into your apartment? Don't you know?
She even says it. She even goes, "Please let this be flowers."
I know, but it's just like, if I were to look down, I'd be like, nope. Calling the police. Get a bomb squad here. Going out the fire exit. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, obviously she was talking to Perry on the phone, talking about things that she's found. But yeah, she just got out of the shower. She basically says, "Oh, my dinner's here." And then you just got this gift that's just at your doorstep. And then I do like the fact that she says, "Please let it be flowers." But nope, it's sparkly. Or it's a doll.
Princess Princess Night
or Princess Night, and then she shoots out this golden speckly stuff and night Lois, and then Lois wakes up looking almost like that doll, very creepy,
very Raggedy Ann, in a giant freaking dollhouse.
Yes, in a giant dollhouse. It's all you do a live action version of this, holy shit. Like I said, it gives you Jigsaw vibes, this character. And she's got the makeup on, she's got a big dress, even the dress makes her look like even bigger than she actually is. So it was just interesting. I'm just going, oh man. I mean, and she was in a robe before, so Toyman's a little pervy. Anyways, sorry, had to go there. I'm a child.
He's kind of a child too.
Yeah, but I'm sure he had fun dressing her up. Anyways, so then we're back at the Daily Planet, and Clark's working on his story, but then he's worried about Lois. Jimmy walks in, they have no idea what's going on, and then this is where we cut back, and we get a cool little
the cross editing on the backstory is
this is what I'm loving
fabulous.
about. Yeah, this is what I'm loving about the anime. What I like about the animated series, how it does stuff like that. Again, even going from when Lois was explaining, giving him a description of his like mental illness, and then cutting to him reading it in the newspaper. I really like this because, and then he explains it to her with a pop-up book, which is great. And then, and all while Clark is learning about Winslow Sr., and we see his picture, and then of course he starts explaining about this toy maker. All he wanted to do is make toys for kids, and then of course he's going through the pages, pop-up books, but then didn't have any money, and then this one dude named Bruno Manheim said, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely fund for that," but of course he had other reasons for it.
Yeah, it was a numbers racket. It was a front for a numbers racket, and then who ends up in jail, but the poor toy maker. And it's great backstory, but yeah, like it's just bouncing back and forth between Clark and Jimmy at the planet and Toyman and Lois at his hideout, and you're just getting the story. I think it's interesting. It's like the parts of the story that would be more emotional, you're getting the Toyman Lois version, and the one where you're getting more sort of like this straight up information you're getting from Clark and Jimmy.
Yeah. So you're getting two different, and it works because then you're getting the entire thing lickety split. I mean, obviously we got 22 minutes, so they're doing a good job of just making it flow. And then just add to it, you're like, oh, okay, so then we just got to try to find where the father is. Oh, wait, there's an obituary. So the father is no longer living. So that's even more so of why Junior is a little more pissed at Mr. Manheim.
Well, and also the fact that he ended up in the foster system, and then that line of bounced around from foster home to foster home like the toy nobody wanted.
That one hits hard. Good line. Great line. That one hits you right in the feels right there. And you almost go like, all right, let me see why you're a little deranged here. I mean, it's starting to all make sense, at least, when it comes to this. And then of course, we got Manheim, who was in the warehouse where, of course, this big dollhouse is and everything. And then he's like on, strings like a puppet, wearing like a jail suit, the black and white striped uniform that you've seen in old movies and whatever the heck. And then of course we get a firing squad. This gets dark right here. You get this.
You get like Nutcracker soldiers that kind of gave me like Christmas with the Joker vibes a little bit.
Yeah. And then he blindfolds him and everything. It's like, dude must have been shitting his pants. Like, he's about to get blown away in a good old firing squad right here. But then Lois, she does a good job of like, hey, she gets the job done right here. So good on Lois to save him at least. So
yeah, because she hits one of them and they all like tumble like dominoes and
domino effect right there. And then of course, this is where the Toyman starts losing his shit. And again, it's funny because you're hearing his voice goes up like a couple octaves too, like it gets high and kind of thing. And you're just seeing that smiley face that you see right behind right there.
And it's also the fact that like it's got like a shiny little spot. So it's like, that's like this plastic ceramic mask. And there's just something it's unnatural and unreal about it that just makes it creepy.
It does make it creepy. And then of course we get Superman is going to show up and some craziness happens, and this is where we're going to watch our clip, because this is where some of that dopey dough that you see right here in the thumbnail comes into play, and it's pretty interesting stuff first off, and then the way Superman gets rid of it is also pretty cool. So here we go.
Here's something you can't break.
What the hell?
Very funny.
Yeah, whatever. And then,
and it moves like Clayface. It's just,
a little bit. Yeah, you get that sound.
Did you had to do the sound, didn't you?
Of course, I had to do the sound. You hear that sound? Ugh.
But it's also like green and like it's like Slimer green.
It is.
No, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Get back. Find something to hide behind. Hurry.
I love the fact that he immediately already has a plan.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna spin around really, really fast. Why not make a little tornado?
Which is interesting because instead of sucking stuff in, he's
pushing it all. Yeah,
pushing it all out.
yeah, destroying all the toys too, which is not going to make him happy. But
Hey,
yes.
Lois, get behind something.
Yeah, we don't care about this guy. You know that was. Yeah, look at that. The way he screams right there. It's so funny.
Oh,
Yeah. Good job. On his tippy toes, and then that falls right at the end. I love that. Ta-da! And then she's like, oh my God.
You think you got me, but I still get a free game.
oh.
He has a backup plan, folks.
And of course, what is it? Giant bombs. There it is. Look at
Oh, okay, okay.
You
Yes.
see it? There it is.
Okay, yes, I did see that, and I just didn't write it down. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Using the cape like that, yes.
Look,
Very
that's
much
totally a Batman shot
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. Totally a Batman thing right there. I love it. Get out! Get out! And he's
I love Manheim's holding one.
Get out! Get out!
And boom.
Ooh,
Once again, we get beautiful.
So you gotta go faster there,
explosions.
bud. Oh, almost burning speed. Boom. And don't worry, these are fake animals right here. No animals.
Yeah,
will
did
harm.
you notice? I noticed
Yeah.
that. It's like,
I was like, wait, those aren't real, right? No, they're not. They're not. So it's all good. It's all good. So yeah. I know. I was like, wait a minute, those aren't real. No, they're not. And they got destroyed. Hopefully they weren't real. No horses or cattle were.
no animated
harmed.
horses were harmed in the making of this cartoon.
Exactly. They're fine. Those horses are fine. Yeah, so he gets away, and then of course we cut to Lois just kind of chilling there. Police is all there, and then Clark's there, hands her like a coffee or a whatever, and yeah, basically they all just kind of think like, oh yeah, well, and I think even Manheim just goes like, was it Manheim that says like,
Yeah, Manheim's like, that's one funeral I won't,
yeah, that he wants to attend, and then all of a sudden one of the cops goes, well, I don't know about that because we didn't find a body, and then of course, what do they find? Just the face, like
the
crumpled
creepy
up,
mask face.
yeah,
thing.
in a bag, just still smiling like it is, and then that's it.
Hey, by the way, cool voice cameo from the cop.
Who?
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Michael. Why does that sound familiar?
Because you've heard that man's voice. I mean, he's one of those voices. The biggest thing I know he did is the cartoon series The Batman.
Yeah.
He was Rastafari Joker.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was rewatching. I've been rewatching it. Just put him on like when I'm working and stuff like that. So okay. So it's that guy, and I'm like trying to put a face on him because I think I looked him up when I started watching.
He's this
big
old black guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to put a face on him. I'll have to look at it after we're done. But yeah. So he's like been around, and
yeah. And Andrea Romano loves to use him, and he's one of those voice acting royalty. Like it's just like, even if you don't know who he is, it's like, oh, you've heard his voice.
Yeah, you've heard that voice, and yeah, he's a great Joker too, by the way. But yeah, so we have that, and then it just ends like that. Just a creepy way to end a creepy episode of Superman the Animated Series, just like showing that face broken in a bag, in a police evidence bag. And then just, there you go. So, Toyman, shall he return?
Oh, well, yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's why they left it open like that. That's yeah, this is what we talk about here, folks. Of course. Let's try to make it suspenseful. Did it work? Probably not.
No.
But yeah, no. But yeah, there you go. I mean, it's a
really good episode.
It's a good episode. It's a good episode. It's a good villain. It's got a lot of cool little, like I said, just the whole villain aesthetic and the toys that he utilizes, and the fact that we have Superman still learning to be Superman, overly confident in some regards, and then forgetting that I got to play the Clark Kent persona as well. So do like that little mix when it comes to Clark. But yeah, it's just a great episode. It's a great episode. Anything else to add to it?
No, we hit everything.
Breezed right through that one, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, because it's so good.
Yeah,
and also because it kind of we had a few episodes like this with Batman the Animated Series, but a lot of action. So talking about it, moves quickly.
Yeah.
because, you know,
We're not
and that's
breaking down serious moments or something like that.
right. It's more like, oh, here's a big action piece.
Yeah. There's a lot of action in this. A lot of action in this. So what do we have next week?
Ooh, a favorite of mine.
Okay.
A Little Piece of Home.
A Little Piece of Home. I think I remember this one again. It's going to be one of those when I put it on. Oh, yeah. This one, because, yeah, that's starting to ring a little bit of a bell.
Well, there's something important that gets introduced in this episode.
Is it? Oh, fuck. What is it? Or
Well,
should
think
we
about the title.
A Little Piece of Homes. Oh, yeah. Kryptonite.
Yes,
Right?
it's the
Yeah,
introduction
yeah,
of Kryptonite.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
like, wait a minute, duh. All right, so yes, I do remember this episode. Yes, very much so, and that'll be a good one to talk about. So yeah, watch that next week, and or watch that this week, I should say, and then be right back here at the same super channel, same super time. I can't really say bat time, bat channel anymore, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that one, Little Piece of Home, next week. We'll be right back here at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead and send us off.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. Our latest episode is another episode of Man of Steel, scene by scene, where Laura watches the destruction of Krypton.
Ooh, such a great that whole shot.
Make a better world than ours, Cal.
Oh God, it's just so good, and the music, the Zimmer score.
Oh,
and how like quiet it kind of gets.
Oh, we talk about all of that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Zach just knew exactly how to show that so perfectly, and just the way that was, and then all of a sudden when the Hans Zimmer score just kicks in as the freaking ship is headed right towards the ground, which we don't see. It just cuts right to, which I love, which it was going to crash, not land, not like in Superman
the animated series, right?
All right, guys, smash that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, do all that. We love you. Thank you for spending some time with us talking Superman, and we'll see you guys next week. See you guys tomorrow for Film Junkie Live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Talk to you later.